mood disorders, depression, bipolar 2, and cancer? My next guest prescription for depression will leave you with no other side effects than a sore gut from laughing and renewed hope. Welcome to this segment of Contagious Courage with Vahen King. Here today to smash the stigma of mental illness, traveling across Canada and abroad, helping people understand the reality of living with depression. Joanne Goodwin, thank you so much for being here today.
I'm glad to be here.
Oh, so nice. I want to talk about your diagnosis, how that all started, and what was that like?
Well, I didn't actually get diagnosed till I was 40.
Wow.
And so I'm 67 now, but that was a long time to go without a diagnosis. I just thought I was weird. I'm one of 7 children, and I was the weird one in the middle. Because I cried so easily, and I was always upset. But in my teen years, it turned to really bad bouts of depression. But we didn't know what to do about it. We didn't even call it that. It was just, Joanne's weird. I was in and out of bad depressions, times that I just wanted to die, times that I just couldn't cope.
So you were married when you got your diagnosis, and already in ministry.
Right.
How was that?
Well, it's interesting because once we got pastoring, I kept asking myself, what the heck is the joy of the Lord? Everybody always says, like I know how testimonies went, life was miserable, I had nothing, and then I found Jesus and I was so happy, and we sing all the happy songs. And I thought, how come I don't get happy?
Wow.
Because I had asked Jesus into my life. I had some deeply personal, wonderful experiences with the Lord. I knew who he was and I believed, but I kept praying to die.
Wow.
And see, I used to think you can't put those two things together. You either love Jesus and are living for him, or you're depressed and want to die. But you know what? You can be both at the same time. And I didn't know that.
Wow.
Because so many people would say, you just pray and focus. The Bible says thou wilt keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee. So Joanne, just do that. But one of the major symptoms of clinical depression is inability to focus.
Wow.
You can't keep your mind stayed on anything. And so I didn't know what to do with all of that.
Yeah.
And like I said, I had 3 kids, and I'd go up and down in my moods, and the downs were longer.
Right.
And finally, just before I turned 40, I thought, this is ridiculous. There's got to be something wrong with me. Okay. Maybe I'm mental. That's what the kind of. So I snuck off to a psychiatrist, which I thought no good Christian or no pastor's wife especially should be doing such a thing. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's how stupid. I didn't know.
Yes.
So I went off, and after 6 or 7 times with him, he was talking to me, and he said, well, Joanne, people with major mood disorders. I said, just stop there. A major mood disorder? I have a mood disorder? Never heard the term. I have a mood disorder.
Yeah.
And then and you said major mood disorder. So
what does that mean?
Yeah, so I'm nuts.
Oh, my.
And he said, no, you have a physiologically based biochemical imbalance that requires medication.
Wow.
I'm a Christian. You can't take medication.
Wow.
Like, I thought, aren't we against that? Like, we don't, do meds to feel good. Perhaps you, but you're troubled. But, I was raised in a strong family. My father was German Mennonite in his background, and we are strong like bulls.
Yeah.
And we don't take nothing for nothing. We used to laugh at people who took aspirin for a headache. We thought, a bunch of wimps. Just wait, it'll go.
Yeah.
Anyway, but then he said to me, one of the side effects is, the medication he was recommending, one of the side effects is you could lose weight. And I said, I'll try it. And I'm not even kidding. People think I make that up, but that is true. I thought, well, one pill isn't going to make me feel better, but, if I could lose weight, I'll take it for the side effects.
So did you start feeling better after? Like, what was that like?
Yeah. Yes. And sometimes they say, it could take up to 6 weeks before you felt it. I felt it within a week.
Okay.
It lifted the depression.
Yeah.
But it didn't make me like people call them happy pills. I didn't get happy. It wasn't like when I was in one of my high moods. I felt normal.
Wow.
What it did, I would say, was restored to me the ability to concentrate.
And then
to
you can focus.
And then you can focus
On the
on
Lord.
Jesus. And then you can do those things. And then you can read your
Wow,
scripture.
wow.
But you can't focus. My mind was a crazy jumble of,
Yeah.
dark thoughts and fighting with myself. You shouldn't feel like that. I'm a Christian and you're bad. Why are you doing that? And you're fighting. And the pills restored to me the ability to think clearly.
And so what was it like then? Okay, so you snuck off, right?
Yeah.
To get the diagnosis and get those the medication. What was it like when you finally started to speak out?
Well, see, at first I wouldn't tell anybody because I was ashamed.
Yeah.
You know what? Shame is the most useless emotion in the world.
Yeah.
And I felt shame, but I would see other people and think, oh man, you got what I got. So I'd kind of pull them to the side. I felt like a deal. Psst, guess what I got here? Have I got something for you? And I started seeing more and more people with it and thinking, what am I ashamed for?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be this ashamed if I found out I had diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I ashamed?
Yeah.
And so I started telling people. Even recently, I went into a bad depression. Even on my pills, they stopped working about a year and a half ago. And I was sinking deep. I thought, what's going on? What's going on? I'm taking my pills, help. So I was going through a bad time, and I mentioned to a pastor friend. I said, I'm not well right now. I'm not well. You know what he said? Are you praying? Are you meditating? And I wanted to say, boy, you didn't say that when I had cancer. So the implication being
That you're not praying enough, you're not good enough.
if you were more spiritual, you would be well. And that's a very sad.
Yeah.
Don't treat people with depression like that. Don't say that.
Yeah. I love, for my own journey and for what I see in yours, you've turned it into something that's really powerful and amazing. You are a conduit of hope. Tell me how it is that you incorporated humor. 'Cause I've heard you speak, and you're very funny, very charismatic. And
But you
how
know
did
what?
that even start?
I didn't even realize I was talking funny. I talked about real stuff.
Yes.
I would say I'm overweight, I'm mentally ill, and I'm a bit pathetic. But God has used me.
What would you tell someone who's in and living that right now, trying to be a Christian, or feel like maybe they can't have a relationship with God because, I'm having these suicidal thoughts, and yet on the other side of it, I want to know Jesus.
Yeah. And I think the biggest message I want to get across is that very thing. You love Jesus, juxtaposed with, I want to die. I feel awful. And I always thought you had to get rid of one to have the other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're depressed, you've left Jesus out of it. If you love Jesus, that'll be gone. It's not true.
Yeah.
We can be broken and crippled and not know what to do and be feeling depressed and overwhelmed at the same time as we're saying, my Jesus, I love you.
Yeah.
Don't let people put shame on you because you're ill.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to tell people, I'm in therapy. Oh.
Yeah.
Can strong Christians go to therapy? Yes.
Yes. Oh, Joanne, thank you so much for your strength and your courage to overcome what you've overcome. I acknowledge and thank God for his strength in you.
Thanks.
Because I know that it will encourage other people to see then you can overcome and find the courage to go on. So Joanne, thank you so much for being here today. And hope you all have a very Merry Christmas.
Yeah, a Merry Christmas.
And all that's left to say is, not to us, O Lord, not to us, but to you and your name goes all the honor and glory for your unfailing love and faithfulness. And have a happy Christmas. Here today. Who's here today? And what are we talking about? Okay. Is there any final thoughts that you would like to share?
Before I die? Oh, you mean before this is over?
Before this is over,
yeah.
but yes.